Millions of Hyundai Tucson owners are driving every day with no idea their car can do half the things it was built to do. Some of these will save you money, some will make driving safer, and at least one is going to make you wonder why nobody showed you this when you drove it off the lot. 20 hidden Tucson features that only 1% of drivers actually know about. Fob hold the lock button and then press the remote start button on your key fob to start the engine without getting in the car. The climate control runs automatically, so the cabin is already at temperature when you get in. Works up to about 80 meters away. On a cold morning, the engine is warm and the windscreen is already clear before you leave the house. This is built into every Tucson with a factory key fob, and most owners never press the second button because they do not know it exists. Go into Settings, Vehicle, and enable Auto Fold Mirrors. Once active, your mirrors fold in automatically every time you lock the car and unfold when you unlock it. No more folding them manually in tight car parks. No more coming back to find a mirror someone clipped walking past. One menu setting and it handles itself permanently. On models with a surround view camera, the mirrors also fold every time you engage reverse parking mode. After inflating your tires to the correct pressure, hold the TPMS reset button for about 3 seconds with the ignition on and the car stationary. The system relearns the sensor positions and recalibrates the warning threshold. Most owners pay a workshop $40 to $60 for this after a tire change or seasonal swap. It costs nothing and takes under 4 minutes in your own driveway. The system takes about 10 minutes of normal driving to fully relearn the sensor positions after the reset. Press the unlock button on your key fob twice and hold it on the second press. All 4 windows roll down without you being near the car. On a hot day, this vents the cabin before you get in, so the air conditioning has a lower starting temperature. On petrol and hybrid models, starting from a lower cabin temperature measurably reduces how hard the AC works in the first 5 minutes of every journey. When adaptive cruise control is active, use the scroll wheel on the steering wheel to adjust your set speed 1 km/h at a time. Most drivers hit the plus button repeatedly or just turn cruise off when traffic slows them. The scroll wheel gives you precise control without looking away from the road. Instead of cycling through 10 or 20 kilometer jumps, you land exactly where you want in one smooth motion. Hold the lane. Keep assist button for 3 seconds instead of a quick press. This switches the system from corrective mode, where it steers you back into lane, to warning only mode, where it just alerts you. Most owners do not know there are 2 separate modes. If you find the steering corrections intrusive on familiar roads, this gives you the alert without the unwanted input. Worth knowing, the system automatically reverts to corrective mode each time the car restarts, so this setting resets with every drive unless you change the default in the driver profiles menu. In the camera settings on the touchscreen, you can switch between static guidelines, dynamic guidelines that move with the steering wheel, and no guidelines at all. Most Tucson ship with static lines active. Switch to dynamic, and the projected path changes in real time as you turn the wheel. The difference in reversing accuracy, especially into angled and tight spaces, is immediately noticeable. The dynamic arc adjusts as fast as you turn the wheel, so the projected path you see on screen is always showing you exactly where the rear corners are about to go. Open the BlueLink app on your phone and start the climate system before you reach the car. Set a departure time in the app, and the car preconditions the cabin automatically, reaching your set temperature by the time you open the door. In summer, this means the air conditioning has already been running for 3 minutes before you sit down. In winter, the car is warm and the engine is already at operating temperature. On hybrid models, preconditioning while plugged in means the battery is also at its optimal thermal state before you leave though. Safe exit. Warning activates automatically on models from the 2nd generation Tucson onwards. When you are about to open a door and a bicycle or vehicle is approaching from behind, the system alerts you with a warning light in the door panel and an audible beep. It uses the rear radar sensors that are already in the car for blind spot monitoring. Most owners are completely unaware this secondary function exists on the same hardware. The warning triggers about 2 seconds before the door reaches the angle where a collision would occur. After around 40 minutes of continuous driving, the driver attention warning will suggest a rest break. If you dismiss it and keep driving, it recalibrates based on your steering pattern. What most owners do not know is that you can adjust the sensitivity in the driver assistance settings. Set it to high and it detects fatigue patterns earlier. This is the setting that matters most on long motorway journeys. If this is useful, subscribe and hit the notification bell. We cover hidden features across every major car brand every single week. Go into lighting settings and enable auto high beam. The front camera detects oncoming vehicles and automatically switches between full beam and dipped headlights. Most Tucson owners either forget to switch to full beam or dip manually every 30 seconds on a rural road. Once this is enabled, you leave the stock in auto and the car manages it every time. It reacts in under half a second. Over a long night drive on unlit roads, this removes one of the most tiring recurring tasks and keeps your attention on what matters. In vehicle settings, go to driver restriction and set a maximum speed. The car physically cannot exceed that speed regardless of how far the accelerator is pressed. Hand the car to a valet or young driver with the restriction active. Set a pin to prevent it being disabled without your knowledge. This feature is buried deep enough in the menus that most owners never find it without being specifically told where to look. The pin lock means the restriction cannot be removed without entering a 4-digit code you set yourself. When you open the panoramic sunroof to the first click position rather than fully open, the built-in wind deflector rises automatically and significantly reduces the roar of wind entering the cabin at speed. Most owners either leave it fully closed or fully open. The first click position is specifically designed for highway ventilation. You get fresh air in the cabin at 100 kilometers per hour without the wind roar that makes conversation impossible. This is the position Hyundai actually intended for motorway use. The fully open position is for low-speed ventilation in car parks. Hold the park button and your Tucson scans the space, takes over steering, and parks itself while you control the accelerator and brake. It works for both parallel and perpendicular spaces. The car measures the gap using ultrasonic sensors before committing. It will not attempt the maneuver if the space is too small. Most Tucson owners with this feature have never activated it because the button label gives almost no indication of what it does. The full steering takeover during parking is one of the most immediately impressive demonstrations of what the car's sensor array can do. On the Tucson Hybrid and plug-in hybrid, the steering wheel paddles do not change gears. They adjust regenerative braking strength in real time between 4 levels. Pull the left paddle, and the car slows more when you lift off the accelerator, feeding energy back into the battery. Master this in city driving, and your fuel economy improves measurably. Most hybrid owners never use the paddles because they assume from habit that they are gear shift controls. Lift the boot floor mat. Below the spare wheel or the tire repair kit is a secondary storage tray that spans the full width of the boot floor. Most owners never lift the mat after delivery. The tray fits jump leads, a first aid kit, and a warning triangle flat without taking up any usable boot space. This is not a secret the manual hides. Most owners simply never look beyond the top layer of boot lining. The tray fits a full emergency kit flat and accessible without reducing usable boot space. In the climate settings, you can set the heated steering wheel to switch on automatically every time you start the car below a certain ambient temperature threshold. No pressing the button on cold mornings. The wheel is already warm by the time your hands touch it. The same timer setting works for the heated front seats on models with the heated seat option. One setup, permanent benefit every winter morning. The temperature threshold is adjustable, so you can set it to activate only below 5 degrees or lower, depending on your climate. Program. Memory position, 2 with the seat fully back and the steering column fully raised. When you hand the car to a mechanic or valet, switch to position 2 first. When you return, press memory 1, and every setting returns exactly to where you had it. Takes 10 seconds. Saves the frustration every time the car is driven by anyone else. If you have not used memory position 2 yet, this is the most practical thing to program it for. Press and hold the SOS button in the ceiling panel for 5 seconds. This runs a self-diagnostic on the emergency call system and confirms it is connected to the network and operational. Most owners never press it for obvious reasons and therefore have no idea if the system would actually work in an emergency. Testing it once a year takes 5 seconds and confirms the most important safety system in the car is actually functional. If the test fails to confirm a connection, it tells you the system needs attention before you ever need it for real. If the electric fuel filler door ever fails to open from the button inside the car, there's a manual release cord in the boot. Open the boot, peel back the left side of the boot lining near the fuel filler corner, and pull the white or yellow cord. The door releases immediately. This works even with a car completely unpowered. It is in the manual, and almost nobody reads it until they're standing at a petrol station in the rain, unable to open the flap. 20 features that were in your Tucson from the day it left the factory. The car did not hide them. The handover process just never got around to them. Go through this list and pick 3 to set up this week: the auto fold mirrors, the departure schedule for climate, and the dynamic reverse camera guidelines. Those 3 alone will change how the car feels every single day. Subscribe and drop a comment telling me which one you had absolutely no idea your Tucson could do.